Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Wing. Order. Arms. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the graduating class of 2019. Graduates, halt. Left, haste. Wing, present arms. Please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation. Wing, order, arms. At ease. Ladies and gentlemen, Chaplain Colonel Paul D. Suter, United States Air Force Academy Command Chaplain.
Please join me in prayer according to your practice or tradition. Gracious God, what a fantastic day to fly, and an even more glorious day to graduate. You, O Lord, have created the land, sea, sky, and beyond. You formed all people in your image. We thank you for the rich diversity of the 61st graduating class of the United States Air Force Academy. Our cadets represent all the states and territories of America, as well as our allied nations from around the world. May their example of solidarity and perseverance through the challenges of their academy experience remind us all of the rich rewards gained from loving our neighbors near and far, and encourage us to afford dignity and respect to all. We are proud of our rich military heritage and the heroes and heroines who have led the way. The Neil Armstrong class of 2019 has lived up to their exemplar, as well as the gold standard of their class color, and the challenge of their motto, conquer mind, conquer all. We give thanks for all who have supported their accomplishments, family, friends, benefactors, academy staff, faculty, professors, supervisors, and peers. Bless and give them your love, mercy, and wisdom always. We are especially grateful to the members of the Legacy Class of 1969 and the many sponsors who inspired our cadets along the way. This day culminates a well-deserved return on extraordinary efforts expended. Individual goals have been exceeded, and the future of the long blue line blazes bright because these graduates have done and given their best. Bless the leaders of our land that we may be people at peace among ourselves and a blessing to other nations of the earth. Bless especially our keynote speaker and the President of these, our United States, President Donald Trump, that his words would motivate us to renewed commitment to our country, as well as our neighbors around the globe. As our graduates pin on the rank of second lieutenant and go off into the wild blue yonder, we are mindful that hardship and sacrifice will remain their constant shadow. In the words of the cadet prayer, make them effective instruments of your peace in the defense of the skies that canopy free nations. And finally, O Lord, embolden our graduates in us always in the pursuit of freedom and justice, from which there can be no graduation. These and all things we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Graduates, take seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Wing, take seats. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General J. Silveria, the Superintendent of the United States Air Force Academy.
Wow, did Colorado come through with a wonderful day or what? Good morning, and what a great day for the Air Force Academy, a great day for the Air Force, and a great day for our nation. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. But for the family and friends and the graduates seated in front of me, it is especially great to say, welcome to the graduation for the class of 2019. To explain for our guests today, each graduating class at our academy selects an exemplar in order to honor and identify with a hero whose qualities they hope to emulate in their own careers. This year's graduating class chose Neil Armstrong, an American icon who perhaps needs no introduction, but whose incredible accomplishments were matched only by his admirable humility. Aside from being the first person to step on the moon, Neil Armstrong was a naval aviator, a Korean War veteran, a test pilot, and an aerospace engineer. His achievements are an example to our cadets of the limitless potential of human innovation and the strength of the American spirit, and we are proud to honor his legacy of courage and excellence. So today, whenever you hear Class of 2019, the members will respond with just what you heard, strong. Today, we're honored to be joined by a remarkable list of distinguished guests seated behind me and throughout Falcon Stadium. That the 45th President of the United States, President Donald J. Trump, is joining us today. That he is here today as our commencement speaker is an incredible honor for our Academy and our graduates, and reflects the vision of our founders, that they had more than 6 decades and more than 50,000 graduates ago, that this institution would be an asset of national importance, an indispensable value to the strength of our military. Mr. President, thank you for joining us today, and welcome to the United States Air Force Academy. Today, we are also honored by the presence of our 24th Secretary of the Air Force, the Honorable Dr. Heather Wilson, USAFA class of 1982. Our 21st Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General David L. Goldfein, USAFA class of 1983. And our 18th Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, Chief Master Sergeant Khalith O. Wright. Seated behind me today are members of Cadet Squadron 7, this year's outstanding cadet squadron. The distinction of Top Squadron is awarded each year to the squadron that achieved excellence and superior performance in all areas of study, including academics, military training, and athletics. Congratulations and well done, Shadow 7. But also seated behind me is a representation of our Academy's leadership, an outstanding team of individuals who have played vital roles in the leadership development of this class. Our Vice Superintendent, our Director of Staff, our Command Chief Master Sergeant, the Headquarters Staff, the Dean of Faculty, our Vice Commandant of Cadets, the Director of Athletics, the 10th Air Base Wing Commander, the USAFA Preparatory School Commander, the 306 Flying Training Group Commander, the Director of our Center for Character and Leadership Development. We also have our 4 academic division chairs, our 4 cadet wing AOCs. We could not do what we do without you. Thank you very much. And seated on the platform with us, representing the indispensable roles that our family members play in the lives of our cadets and airmen is my wife, Virginia, and our Academy senior leaders, their spouses. We will never be able to thank you enough for your steadfast support and for the unique sacrifices you make as military families. I'd also like to recognize an incredible faculty and staff who arrived in our processional that are seated on the south side of the stadium. These dedicated and tireless professionals make days like today possible with their passion for education and discovery, and with their skill in developing some of our nation's most promising young people into the next generation of innovative-minded leaders. We are truly privileged to have such a talented faculty and staff, ensuring that officers we are educating, training, and inspiring here now will go out into our Air Force and make it their own, shape it into a more capable and powerful force. Thank you all for what you do to make this happen. The United States Air Force Academy could not accomplish its mission without the unwavering dedication of many partners, and the support of the wonderful Colorado Springs and Front Range region is vital to that support. Seated on the north side of the stadium are some of our most outstanding supporters. Representatives from our supporting organizations, such as the Association of Graduates, the USAFA Endowment, the Falcon Foundation, the Air Force Academy Foundation, Friends of the Air Force Academy Library, the Air Force Academy Athletic Corporation, and the Academy Research and Development Institute. Let me also add a special welcome to one of our greatest supporters, Mayor Suthers. Thank you for being here. Also joining us are commanders from around our joint force, including Generals Hyten, General O'Shaughnessy, and General Raymond, along with our many other distinguished guests, Academy alumni, community leaders, and friends of the Academy. Thank you all for your contributions that help make today possible. Thank you. And to everyone here supporting these young leaders this morning, know that we are a much stronger force because of your indispensable role in our Air Force family. Everyone in attendance today represents the years of development, encouragement, coaching, teaching, correcting, supporting, and loving this class to get them here today. Thank you for coming. We're honored that you've joined us to recognize the culmination of one formative journey and the beginning of another. Today, 991 exceptional young leaders of the 61st graduating class of the United States Air Force Academy start their careers as officers. And I am confident that tomorrow, our Air Force will be a stronger force because of them. They are joining a long blue line, and they are joining a heritage of military service, and none other represents that more than Cadet Joseph Clark, soon to be Second Lieutenant Joseph Clark. He was commissioned yesterday by Major Walter Clark, his grandfather, who's 101 years old, a World War II veteran, and he is seated in Section L8 here this morning. Major Clark, we are honored by your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the 21st Chief of Staff of the Air Force. General David L. Goldfein is a 1983 USAFA graduate, the 6th USAFA graduate to serve as Chief of Staff of the Air Force. An incredible, distinguished career has demonstrated the qualities of leadership we'd be proud for all of our newest graduates here to emulate. General Goldfein is a command pilot with more than 4,200 hours in aircraft, including the F-16 and the F-117. And he has led airmen and joint warriors in crucial missions all over the world. Sir, thank you for the example you've set in your career of selfless service and for inspiring these graduates to see what is possible in this proud profession, and for your enduring dedication to the alma mater. Our entire Academy is proud to welcome you back as always. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome not just the Chief of Staff, but one of the best friends of the Air Force Academy, Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General David L. Goldfein.
Been waiting a long time to do that. Well, you made it. I'm speaking, of course, to your parents. Well done, moms and dads. So, class of 2019, let me take you back 4 years ago to the 26th of June, 2015, the day after you arrived here in your first formation in front of the class wall. For the very first time as a class, you stood side by side and shoulder to shoulder in your crisp new uniforms and took a solemn oath. The same oath you took yesterday in your commissioning ceremonies to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Standing together as wingmen, you committed to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And today you stand here together for the last time as a formation, 4 years later, or maybe 5 or 6 for a few of you. Trust me, I can relate. And you join the over 50,000 graduates who have gone before you, the long blue line. Today you enter an Air Force engaged in active combat operations in faraway places like Afghanistan and Syria, as we deliver global vigilance and global reach and global power for America. And like your legacy class of 1969, several of whom are here today, many of you will face the ultimate test in combat. As together we defend this great experiment called democracy. And as officers, you will be entrusted with the greatest treasure in our nation's arsenal. Young airmen who volunteered to serve a nation at war and who deserve to be led and inspired by leaders of character. Sacred duty. And what you've been preparing for since the day you first raised your right hand in front of the class wall. As your chief, I could not be prouder to welcome each of you into our ranks. Ladies and gentlemen, the long blue line is strengthened today by the class of 2019. Over 40 years ago, Dr. Heather Wilson and I took our oath together, standing in the field house as members of the class of 1982. Like you, as classmates, standing side by side and shoulder to shoulder. After graduation, our careers took different paths, mine mostly operational. Dr. Wilson took a completely different path, graduating with honors as a Rhodes Scholar, attaining her PhD in International Relations at Oxford University. She served on the National Security Council for President George H.W. Bush during the fall of the Berlin Wall, collapse of the Warsaw Pact, and the start of Operation Desert Storm. She went on to become a congresswoman from New Mexico for 10.5 years and a powerful advocate for us on the Hill. She's a private pilot and an aircraft owner. And before becoming our secretary, she served as president of the South Dakota School of Mines. Neither of us could ever have imagined 40 years ago, when we took our oaths as new cadets, that we would rejoin all these years later to lead the institution we love, side by side and shoulder to shoulder. Mr. President, on behalf of all airmen, past, present, and future, thank you for nominating Dr. Heather Wilson to become the 24th Secretary of the Air Force and recommending another incredible and gifted leader, Ambassador Barbara Barrett, to become our 25th Secretary. Next to our Commander-in-Chief, today's airmen and their families have no better friend, and the nation has no stronger advocate for air and space power than Dr. Heather Wilson. And how appropriate that her last official act as our Secretary is here, where it all started over 4 decades ago at our beloved Academy. And yet again, she is graduating 1 year ahead of me. Graduates, parents, families and friends, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you the 24th Secretary of the Air Force, Dr. Heather Wilson.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you for everything you have done for our Air Force. I could not have asked for a better wingman. For the parents in the stands, these graduates are some of the best young men and women in America because you raised them to be that way. Thank you for entrusting them to our care. Know that we will give them the training and the equipment they need to be able to fight and win and come home again. To our graduates in the class of 2019, there is a nation outside of this stadium depending on you. Samuel Adams wrote in 1748 that neither the wisest constitution nor the wisest laws will secure our liberty. They must be defended by those who value freedom. You have decided to prepare yourselves to take a solemn obligation today. Thank you for choosing to be airmen. "41 years ago, Dave Goldfein and I got full-ride scholarships and one-way tickets from sea level to 7,258 feet, far, far above Annapolis and West Point. We each got off the bus with a single suitcase at the base of what was then the Bring Me Men ramp and began journeys that have brought us back to this place by different routes. General Goldfein grew up as a joint warfighter, as a leader, and I veered into public policy and Congress and higher education. In his poem, Little Gidding, T.S. Eliot wrote, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." It has been my honor to have been the first graduate of this institution to have become the Secretary of the United States Air Force. Mr. President, thank you for that honor. This graduation will be my last official event as your secretary, and it has been my honor to serve with all of you. It is also now my pleasure to introduce the 45th President of the United States. From the day he stepped into office, the President began reversing more than a decade of military decline. Over the past 3 years, his budget has proposed significant increases for our air and space forces, which we have used to restore the readiness of the force to win any fight, anytime, to recruit and train new people, and to buy modern equipment for the airmen who will be commissioned here today. His number one priority has been the safety and security of the American people and the country that we love. We are privileged to have him here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander-in-Chief and the President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Pretty happy, sir. We're pretty fired up.
Very nice. Isn't that nice? Thank you very much. Please. You just like all those brand new, beautiful airplanes that we're buying. Hello, Air Force Academy. It's been a long time since I've been here, and what a place it is. At ease, everybody. I'm thrilled to be here with all of you as we celebrate the incredible class of 2019. And you truly make America proud. You make us all proud. Thank you very much. Great job. Really great job. And I want to thank Secretary Wilson for the introduction and for her 2 years of service as the first graduate of the Academy to be the very important Secretary of the Air Force at a time when we've really expanded out the Air Force and bought equipment like you've never seen before. So congratulations. Thank you very much, Adam. Beautiful job. And I want to thank 3 other truly remarkable former cadets. Your Superintendent, Lieutenant General Jay Silveria. Jay, Class of 1985, Jay. I thought you were a little bit younger than that. General David Goldfein, class of 1983. Thank you, General. Great job. Does a great job, respected by everybody. And Northcom Commander General Terrence O'Shaughnessy, class of 1986. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, General. We're also grateful to be joined by Commander of U.S. Strategic Command, General John Hyten. General, thank you very much. Spent a lot of time together talking about things. And Commander of Air Force Space Command, General J. Raymond. Thank you, General. Space Command. And to all of the distinguished faculty, coaches, and staff, thank you for forging and refining a new generation of American warriors. We're also joined by many distinguished Air Force veterans and Academy graduates. We applaud and salute you all. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
And to the thousands of moms and dads and grandparents and family members beaming with joy, and that's what they're doing. They are beaming with joy. Thank you for raising rock-ribbed American patriots. America is stronger thanks to your love and your support for these incredible people, these incredible graduates. Cadets, join me in paying tribute to your amazing Air Force families. Go ahead, pay tribute. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Without them, you wouldn't be here, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Most of all, to the nearly 1,000 cadets who I have agreed to shake every single hand. They gave me a choice. They said, sir, you don't have to shake any hands. Some people do that. Those are the smart ones. They're out of here. You can shake one hand to the one person, top of the class. You could shake 10, 50, or 100. And you could also stay for 1,000. And I'm staying for 1,000, okay? And I know we're all going to make it. There's no doubt about it, right? There's no doubt about it. To the nearly 1,000 cadets who will soon become second lieutenants in the U.S. Air Force, you could have chosen any school, any career you wanted, but you chose a harder path and a higher calling to protect and defend the United States of America. I know what you've been through, and it's tougher, but you know what? In the end, it's better. You're going to see. You'll see. You'll see. Today, you take your place as officers in the most powerful Air Force in the history of our country, and frankly, and very easily, in the history of the world. America commends the integrity, devotion, and commitment of the class of 2019. When you choose the Air Force, you choose the noble road of service and duty and devotion. You choose to break old boundaries and unlock new frontiers and live life on the cutting edge. The first air combat happened just 1 century ago. You are the ones who will invent and define the next generation of air warfare. And you are the ones who will secure American victory all the time. Victory. To dominate the future, America must rule the skies. And that is what your time at this great academy has been all about, preparing you to do whatever it takes to learn, to adapt, and to win, win, win. You know, win so much, you're going to get so tired of winning, but not really. Not really. We never get tired of winning, do we? No. Over the past 4 years, that's just what you've done. You've worked, you've preserved, persevered, you've excelled, you've done so many things that nobody else can do, and in the end, you've come out on top. It took years of focus and discipline to get here, starting long before Beast. Right? Beast. You all know what the hell Beast is, right? Just being admitted to the academy is a monumental achievement. Only 1 out of every 10 applicants makes the cut. And don't forget, out of those 10 applicants, there are hundreds that think about it, but they know they don't even have a chance. So remember that. It's true, actually. It's actually true. For those who are accepted, another 20% don't make it to graduation, sadly. Only the best survive to the very end. And here under the majestic peaks of the Rockies, you have risen to every challenge, overcome every single obstacle, and proven yourselves worthy of the bars that will soon adorn your uniform. You survived BCT, made it to recognition, and earned your prop and wings. You soared in gliders, piloted aircraft, and launched satellites that are now orbiting way, way above us, looking down on us. You performed advanced research, developed new techniques. You honed your skills as cyber operators and jumped out of planes thousands of feet above the earth. Not easy. For America's airmen, the sky is never, ever the limit. That being said, even the best cadets can sometimes get a little bit carried away. Lieutenant General Silveria has informed me that a few cadets are still on restriction for pranks and other fairly bad mischief. You know what I'm talking about, right? And you all know who you are. So, keeping with tradition, and as your commander-in-chief, I hereby absolve and pardon all cadets serving restrictions and confinements. And that you earned. You earned it. So you're all on even footing. Is that nice? This class has racked up a list of truly extraordinary achievements. 2 graduating cadets recently received one of the most prestigious awards in all of academia, Rhodes Scholarships. Please join me in congratulating cadets James Brom and Madison Tung. Please stand up. Wow. Thank you very much. That's a big fat congratulations from me. That's a tremendous job you've done. Thank you. Thank you, Madison. Great job. On the athletic fields, Air Force has won 15 conference championships over the last 4 years, which is really something. 153 athletes have earned All-American honors. Stand up. Stand up. All-American, stand up. Wow. Wow. It's fantastic. Congratulations. Including rifle team members Anna Walbacher and Spencer Kapp, who helped the Falcons win the air rifle national title and beat the other service academies to bring home the President's Trophy. Please stand up. Stand up. It's fantastic. But you didn't enjoy beating those other academies. I don't think so, right? Not too much. And graduating cadet Nick Reedy became the first person from any service academy to win the college home run derby. Wow, that's a big deal. With a record-breaking 55 home runs. Nick, where are you, Nick? Stand up. Come here, Nick. Come here. Get up here, Nick. Come here. Really good. Come here, Nick. You know, they gave him such a lousy seat all the way back in the corner. Come on up. Baseball, home run derby. That's something. In all of college baseball. Wow. I want to feel this guy's muscles. It's real. That's real. That's great. Thank you very much, Dick. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. The members of this class come from every background, every state in the Union, and even from our allies overseas. But through trial and training and tradition, you've become one family. It's what's happened. And like one family, you have all been pulling for one of your classmates who has bravely fought his battle with cancer. Today, Parker Hammond graduates as a munitions and missiles maintenance officer, along with the class that has stood with him every step of the way. Great go. Come on, Parker. Get up here, Parker. Parker, come here. Come here, right? Come here. They love you, Parker. Why do you like him so much? Great job. Great. A lot of good-looking people in this school, I have to say. Thank you, Parker. This class personifies the spirit of confidence and courage and unwavering commitment that has always defined the long blue line. It's true. It goes all the way back to the very beginning, to the first cadet in the Air Force history. On in-processing day, you've greeted at the base of a ramp by the statue of the legendary Val Bork. Val grew up in a blue-collar family in Massachusetts. During his senior year in high school, he was recruited to play for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's another baseball player. But instead, Val made the same choice as all of you, the choice of life of service. That's what he wanted. Val joined the U.S. Air Force Academy. He showed up at 4:30 a.m. on the Academy's opening day in 1955, so he would be the first Air Force cadet in history to take the oath of allegiance. He was thinking fast. The Academy proved an arduous challenge, however, for Val. It wasn't easy. As Val's roommate said, he was hanging on by a thread academically. No one was tested more than Val was, but he was at the very top in his character and in honor. That's what his roommate said. After Val finally made it to where you're sitting today, he volunteered to go to Vietnam, and he proved to be one of the best pilots America had. He was amazing. He was incredible. After nearly a year of intense action, he was scheduled to return home. He was very excited, but he asked to lead one more mission. On that day, Val's plane was struck by enemy fire, and he made the ultimate sacrifice for his country. He now rests on these precious grounds, and his fighting spirit lives in each and every one of you. Great fighting spirit. The heroes and legends of every generation have always had to confront new perils and defeat new dangers. No one can foresee all of the challenges this class will face, but we do know that with absolute certainty, you are going to be ready to serve, you are going to be ready to lead, you are going to be aiming at the absolute highest point, and you are ready to fly, fight, and win. Always win. Always. You exemplify the grit, the guts, and the grace that make America's Air Force by far the best in the world. And in the words of your class motto, conquer mind, conquer all. Each of you has the sharp intellect, deep character, inner strength, and the titanium courage to vanquish any menace that dares to threaten our country or our people. We're always ready, right, General? Always ready. He's ready. I wonder how that's going to be viewed, that statement, tomorrow in the press. You can imagine. And that's okay. Let them think whatever they want to think. More than half of you will soon head to pilot training, where you'll prepare to unleash American thunder anywhere we need. Another 45 will join our remotely piloted aircraft program. A record number of you will become space operators. You will specialize in combat rescues, intelligence, missile maintenance, weather, air traffic control, engineering, and much, much more. Each of you is graduating at a truly incredible time for our country. Our country is doing well. Our country is respected again. We are respected again. And we're reawakening American pride, American confidence, and American greatness. You know that. These gentlemen know it, I'll tell you right now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's very nice. And we're restoring the fundamental principle that our first obligation and highest loyalty is to the American citizen. No longer will we sacrifice America's interests to any foreign power. We don't do that anymore. In all things and ways, we are putting America first, and it's about time. Our economy is booming. Our people are thriving. And our military is stronger, mightier, and more powerful with all of that new aircraft than ever before. I am committed to keeping our military the best trained, best equipped, and most technologically advanced fighting force anywhere under the sun. Last year, against some pretty strong opposition, which I'll always have, we secured $700 billion to support our warfighters, followed by another $716 billion, not million, billion, that's with a B. $716 billion this year. That means we are delivering 56 new Air Force F-35s, brand new stealth. I asked somebody on the other side, what do you think of that plane? A foreign leader. He said, we have a problem with it. We can't see it. It's always good. It's always good when they can't see you. 24 new Reaper remotely piloted aircraft, 15 new Pegasus aerial refueling aircraft, 10 new combat rescue helicopters, and a well-earned pay raise for every soldier, sailor, airman, Coast Guardsman, and Marine in the United States military. And if anybody wants to give up your raise, it's okay, we'll accept that, okay? Don't do it. We're also asking Congress to invest more in hypersonic weapons. We have things under development, the likes of which you've never seen, the likes of which you can't even conceive. Artificial intelligence, nuclear weapons and modernization, and space superiority. And we're soon having, as you know, something that I started, and it started a little slow, and now everybody's embraced it. Space Force, and you're going to be working with them. And General, I want to thank you for helping us so much. It's been really great. Working with you has been great. Whole new force. In this stadium today are many of the future leaders who will develop the doctrine, strategy, and technology to restore America's legacy of leadership in space. As you know, other nations are moving aggressively to weaponize space with new technologies that can disrupt vital communications and blind satellites that are critical to our battlefield operations. It is a time for America to reclaim the ultimate high ground and prepare our young warriors for today for victory on the battlefield tomorrow. It's a very different battlefield. It's a very different type of warfare, but we are so advanced, and when you see what's coming, you won't even believe it. And hopefully, you know what? Hopefully, we never have to use it. Peace through strength. Peace through strength. As your commander-in-chief, I want you to know that we will pursue and maintain the overwhelming strength we need to deter any aggressor and thrash any foe. For that reason, I am committed to building the Air Force we need with the full strength of 386 squadrons. And we're getting it done, too. It's happening rapidly. Because nothing will ever strike more fear in the hearts of our enemies or inspire more confidence in our friends than the roaring engines of American fighter jets flown by the greatest pilots on the planet Earth by far. You. The sound of American war paints is the righteous sound of American justice. Today, you inherit a legacy of service and valor handed down through generations. It's a tradition built by legends like Rickenbacker, Doolittle, Wagner, Archer, Boyd, Yeager, Sargent, Grissom, and Chapman. Great people. Great people. These trailblazers broke barriers after barrier, and they innovated and adopted to push America further, faster, and on to total victory. It is the same spirit embodied by your class exemplar, Neil Armstrong, who started out flying jets over Korea, and 50 years ago this summer planted our great American flag on the face of the moon. Just like all of the aces of our past and the heroes of our history, they were ready to lead when America needed them most, and so is every cadet who graduates today. Is that correct? I think so. You are the patriots whose names will go down in Air Force history. You will redefine warfare at a very, very critical time in our country's history. You'll win great battles and bring our enemies to crushing defeat. You will explore the boundaries of space and keep America forever proud and forever free. So today you take the controls. You're going to push it up and chart your course across the sky. Keep the wings level and true, because your country is sending you on a vital mission to defend America, protect our people, and to pursue our nation's great and glorious destiny. Nothing will stop you from victory. Nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force, and with your help, nothing ever, ever will stop the United States of America. So I want to conclude by giving a very special congratulations to a very special group of amazing cadets, and people. It's the class of 2019. On behalf of our nation, God bless you, God bless the Air Force, and God bless America. This is a great honor being with you. Thank you, and congratulations to everybody. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cadet class president for 2019, Cadet First Class Jacob Sesuito, the Summer Cadet Wing Commando, Cadet First Class Madison Froby, the Fall Cadet Wing Commander, Cadet First Class Matthew Mowat, and the Spring Cadet Wing Commander, Cadet First Class Erica Barnett, will present the class gift to the President.
President Donald Trump, for your dedicated service to our nation, to the United States Air Force, and to the United States Air Force Academy, it is with great pride that today's graduating class designates you, by acclamation, an honorary member of the United States Air Force Academy class of 2019. As tangible evidence of that honor, we ask that you accept this painting by Rick Broom. On behalf of the United States Air Force Academy, we also present you with our class coin as a token of our appreciation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Palanchar, President of the Air Force Academy Foundation, will present the Distinguished American Award.
Mr. President, on behalf of the Air Force Academy Foundation and all the charitable organizations that support the Air Force Academy, I am pleased to present to you the Distinguished American Award. Thank you for being here today to recognize and honor the next generation of American heroes, their families, and friends.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, take seats. Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Andrew Armacost, the Dean of Faculty.
President Trump, before presenting the entire graduating class to you, I would like to single out some individuals for special recognition. First, I call to your attention 102 distinguished graduates who are listed at the top of your program. These cadets, by their overall performance, have placed in the top 10% of their class and have demonstrated true excellence in accomplishing the academic, military, and athletic requirements for graduation. If we observed the custom of academic honors, each would be graduating either summa cum laude, magna cum laude, or cum laude. Instead, we use the term distinguished graduate as most fitting in its promise of distinguished service to our nation. At this time, will the distinguished graduates of the Neil Armstrong class please rise and be recognized? Great, thank you. Please be seated. Those identified in your program with an S beside their name are cadets graduating with the Academy Scholar distinction, having completed successfully a challenging academic enrichment path through the 4-year core curriculum. We would also like to recognize those cadets who have placed in the top 10% of our academic, military, and athletic programs. Identified in your program with a star by their name are cadets graduating with academic distinction. Those identified in the program with a wreath beside their names are cadets graduating with military distinction. Those identified in the program with a lightning bolt beside their names are cadets graduating with athletic distinction. And those exceptional 9 cadets graduating with all 3 distinctions are identified in the program with a star within a wreath resting on 2 lightning bolts. Please stand as I call your names. Trey Landon Arnold. Kyle Andrew Leland. Kyle David Hake. Molly Catherine Olmos. Nicholas Ben Hurley. Ryan Christopher Palmer. Grace Lynn Charlanza. Pierce Thomas Kassmeyer. And finally, Ryan Joseph Howe. Congratulations to all. Please have a seat. We are also pleased to have in the class graduates from 10 foreign nations. They will stand as I recognize their nations. We have students representing the nations of Kazakhstan, the Republic of Korea, Romania, Rwanda, Sri Lanka, Taiwan, Thailand, the Philippines, Singapore, and finally, Tunisia. And for one last photo op, will all of our international students please stand and be recognized one more time. Thank you. Please be seated. In conclusion, a total of 991 Air Force Academy cadets in this year's class have completed all graduation requirements. It gives me great pleasure to present to you, President Trump, the United States Air Force Academy Neil Armstrong Class of 2019, and I recommend each as worthy of the Bachelor of Science degree.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Arthur W. Primus, Jr., Director of Admissions, and Dr. Tom Mabry, Associate Dean for Student Academic Affairs and Academy Registrar, will now present the diplomas to the graduating class of 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, joins us on stage to congratulate each of the graduates of the class of 2019. Will the distinguished graduates please rise and come forward to receive your diplomas? Congratulate each of the graduates of the class of 2019. Will the distinguished graduates please rise and come forward to receive your diplomas? Go ahead.
The class of 2019's #1 cadet in overall performance, Trey Landon Arnold.
The class of 2019's #1 cadet in academic performance, Kyle Andrew Leland. Come on.
Kyle David Hake.
Erica Storm Barnett.
Samantha Livingston Coles Potter.
Molly Catherine Olmus.
Georgia Ellison Sims.
Ryan William Ramsiner.
Hillary Ellen Keeley.
Lucas Ryan Biesner.
Nicholas Ben Hurley.
Ryan Christopher Palmer.
Grace Lynn Cherlanza.
Christopher Philip Clark.
Catherine Sophia Malone.
The class of 2019's #1 cadet in military performance, Jenna Sue Johns.
Pierce Thomas Kastmeyer.
Matthew Alexander Malwood.
James Walter Brom.
Ryan Thomas Olson.
Christopher Michael Volks.
Joshua Joseph Kaus.
Ryan Joseph Howe.
Madison Lee Tung.
Caitlin Alexis Cook.
Mackenzie Dell Rosenthal.
Melanie Ann Shaddix.
Austin Davis McDaniel.
Benjamin Charles Jakeman.
Zachary Quinn Warren.
Stephen Daniel Steiner.
John Israel Ferguson.
Graydon Philip Gribble.
Colin Michael Zavislak.
Eric Duncan McMillan.
Jared Patrick Henderson.
Parker Daniel Seal.
Conan Brian Malt.
Carleanne K. Butts.
Hunter John Alquist.
Wesley Lynn Jackson.
Lydia Ann Byram.
Stephen Edward Beresford.
John Ryder Jordan.
Adam Ray Brown.
Dean Forrest Ronsman.
Benjamin Edward Flanagan.
Lauren Elizabeth Truax.
Brooke Ann Kunzelman.
Cameron Andrew Hoover.
Esther Somin Kim.
Yaroslav Borodenkov.
Andrew Charles DeNicola.
Joshua William Turner.
Gabrielle Ann Evie.
James Brewer Ayers.
Emily Claire Bertrand.
Christopher Robert Darcy.
Ty Nicholas Feedy.
Abraham Monroe Eaton.
Charles Parker Jacks.
Elizabeth Michelle Reed.
Sean Matthew Ryer.
Garrett Franklin Amy.
Richard Scott Evans.
Caden Richard Sparks.
Matthew James Cook.
Jordan Emma Peterson.
Colin William Tommett.
Adrian Carroll DeBush.
William Everett Langan.
Cole Matthew Schwagel.
John Alexander Bowes III.
Sean David Harvey.
Gabriel Scott Doman.
Michael Norman Plaza.
Ronald James Jackson.
Andrea Nicole Abel.
Elizabeth Stacy Pennington.
Harry Gibson McMahon III.
Tamara Lee Cardenas.
Andrew David Gibson.
Mark Frederick Mueller.
Nicholas Luke Rosico Risma.
Jake Canyon Watkins.
Spencer Chase O'Donnell.
Aaron Noel Nisler.
Jennifer Fu Huyn.
O'Shea Sylvan Schradel.
Liam Shane Kaplan.
Megan Claire Langus.
Zachary Noah Wiley.
Austin Dixon Good.
Caleb Andrew Mathis.
Joshua James Jallowick.
Elliot Owen Higgins.
Ellen Marie Miota.
Anthony Robert Cabri.
Graham Dodsworth Smith.
Kylie Marie Wharton.
Antonio Garza.
Jonathan Daniel Kaczynski. Ladies and gentlemen, joining President Trump on stage, to your left, the Honorable Heather Wilson, Secretary of the Air Force, and to your right, General David Goldfein, Chief of Staff of the Air Force. Also joining them on stage, to your left, Lieutenant General Jay Severia, Superintendent, United States Air Force Academy, and on your right, Colonel Scott Campbell, Commander, Commandant of Cadets. Will the remainder of the graduates of 2019 please rise and come forward by squadron to receive your diplomas?
Cadet Squadron 1, Kim Kenrick Agatep.
Gina Marie Arabito.
Marcus Anthony Bennett.
Melissa Lee Berger.
Bo Woodward Billingsley.
Stephen Gregory Carter.
Michael Reese Fonteno, Jr.
Anna Margaret Frick.
Riley Michael Hafer.
Connor James Harry.
Isaac Demetrio Jimenez.
Seren Kathleen Marley.
Zephaniah Troy Miller.
Andrew Malik.
Nathan Richmond Sanders.
Jack Woodrow Smith.
Emmy K. Sweezy.
Cheyenne Henui Wall.
Timothy Ryan Ward.
Robert John Wayland.
Roland True Wheeler IV.
Maverick Allen Wilhite.
Jeffrey Charlton Bailey.
Cadet Squadron 2, Nathaniel Armour Beckstrand.
Jeffrey Charlton Bailey.
Reed Leoloha Blair.
Brett Michael Bixler.
Caston Grant Casey.
Julia Annalise Boswell.
Jessica Junyi Chen.
Jennifer Betsy Chan.
Jacob Kelly Fosella.
Tessa Rose Favo.
Rebecca Madison Gusevich.
Peyton Hughes Galloway.
Ray Lyra Gonzalez.
Seth James Hill.
Michael Edward Marsh.
Simon Kenneth Lynn.
Jessica Nicole Moichi.
Darren William Miller.
Min Yu Park.
Christian James Nasto.
Catherine Rose Tomzak.
Vincent Anthony Sabin.
Jonathan Andrew Williams.
Alex Sayi Valson III. Cadet Squadron 3. Nathan Ronald Ade.
Marcus William Brincourt.
The class of 2019's #1 cadet in athletic performance, Shania Danielle Burns.
Luke William Chapman.
Thomas Britton Edie III.
Guinness Elise Gooder.
Allison Jane Gorange.
Trenton Curtis Harper.
Benjamin Thomas Harris.
Paige Lynn Harrison.
Carson Allen Farley Kimball.
Zachary Allen Lindsay.
Shin Shui Leo.
Grayson Dean Miles.
Zachary Martinez.
Anna Kate Nickel.
Stephen Powers Parker.
Andrew Thomas Piper.
Quincy Alexander Clark.
Logan Brian Skinner.
Charles Andrew Smith.
Megan Renee Vandermoss.
Daniel Jordan Zivney.
Cadet Squadron 4, Christopher Wesley Boughton.
John Thomas Kanata.
Maria Nicole Carter.
Aaron Kathleen Cochran.
Matthew Christopher Coulter.
Hisham Felhi.
Evan Tyler Fino.
Matthew John Green.
Jeremiah James Hemme.
Chloe Lynn Homan.
Joseph Emmanuel Lanclose.
Charles Anthony Arthur Leano.
Bradley Dylan Martin.
Preston Riley Montero.
Rachapun Namlak.
Kelly Ziam Nguyen.
Zachary David Norton.
Adam Christian Pelter.
Mary Charlotte Pepper.
Jason Alexander Sadler.
Eamon Patrick Shannon.
Matthew Douglas Stanley.
Pablo Stephen Vipasiano.
Cadet Squadron 5. Connor Anthony Brzezinski.
Alanjane Toya Brooks.
Zachary Alexander Carrion.
Reese Michael Klingenpeel.
Jacob Jeffrey Cole.
Shanley Ann Conlin.
Michael Francis Davey.
Joseph Singer Ernst.
Tristan Leroy Hansen.
Hannah James Hetzler.
Sean Richard Jolly.
Sarah Noemi Kreiser.
Blake David Lowry.
Christine Masako Liu.
Daniel Gorman Lindauer.
Charles Francis Mowry IV.
Christopher Gregory Nodland.
Rodrigo Antonio Oriana.
Benjamin Barrett Stans.
Caleb Lee Stuffle.
Ryan Jehoon Yu.
Cadet Squadron 6. David Norman Collins.
Alexander Brian Cologne.
Ryan Thomas Conley.
Christopher Oshiro Doe.
Chloe Antoinette Gadsden.
Brennan Tyler Garland.
Ashley Jeanette Gauthier.
Samuel Ray Heingardner.
Elizabeth Marina Jarvis.
Cassandra Julia McElwee.
Sonia Sethi McLaughlin.
Heidi Lynn Morrison.
Logan Wayne Ormsby.
Alexa Marie Poveromo.
Nikolai Olkin Rhodes.
Robert John Schaefer.
Zachary Adam Sokolowski.
Charles I.G. Treadwell.
Lucas O. Van Epps.
Andre Dylan Bertuccio.
Edmund Wangjing Yi.
Cadet Squadron 7. Zachary William Arns.
William Jake Christopoulos.
Noah Nakanaela Crab.
Lucas William Echeverry.
Jacob Stickler Ehrenstrom.
Noah William Eppinger.
Evan Richard Geisler.
Timothy Cyrus Hunt.
Wenesana Oriwoa Ugune Itubu.
Rachel Elaine Kester.
Taiwu Kim.
Elisa Elena Nelson.
Janelle Patrice Parlagreco.
Logan Gabriel Pethel.
Josiah Fred Riley.
Peter Chandler Washer III.
Garrett Alexander Watts.
Chance Lawrence Wessel.
Heather Selena Zimmy.
Cadet Squadron 8, Quentin Eugene Coleman.
Blake Joseph Daly.
Maria Lorraine Dronin.
Joshua Chance Frometta.
Petrus Giza.
Vladislav Maximovich Gogulia.
Jonathan Richard Healy.
Nicholas Olam Jasper.
Tenzin Sharab Kazan.
Zachary Lee Krieger.
Meredith Kimball Lasky.
Aaron DeDre Maxwell.
Anthony Jordan McLaughlin.
Joseph Livingston Mule, Jr.
Patrick Isaac O'Hanlon.
Kyle Austin Ramage.
Megan Louise Roach.
Trevor Scott Sinosalchi.
Emma Rochelle Strom.
John Joseph Thakra III.
Minjong Yoon.
Cadet Squadron 9, Francis Burns Cooper III.
Dion Wright Dodd.
Kirsten Summer Elliott.
Griffin Edward Gluck.
John Ryan Ganon.
Robert Daniel Hugo.
Matthew Gage Kane.
Song Min Ko.
Nicholas Richard Learn.
Anna Caroline Leland.
Jacob Todd Matkovich.
Andre James Miller.
Joshua Francis Mossing.
Charles Mackenzie Orahud.
Garrett Scott Patnode.
Kevin Blake Patterson.
Carl Thomas Rindall.
Nina Marie Rogers.
Daniel Soto, Jr.
Lauren Savannah Stroud.
James Rogers Tatum III.
Janelle Cabrera Valerio.
Cadet Squadron 10, Michael Lee Bono.
Isaac Foster Childers.
Tyler Anthony Sabati.
Thomas Andrew Cox.
Isabella Vivian Farrell.
Jared Darnell Flowers.
Emily Siobhan Graves.
Brian Nolan Guerrero.
Theodore Stephen Janser.
Jonathan David Kaltenbaugh.
Richard Allen King II.
Eric Lee Leverance.
Emily Elizabeth Lures.
Hunter Engelbrett Lunassen.
Ryan Joseph McKenna.
Stone Eric Miller.
Zachary William Morris.
Madeline Claire Poisson.
Nicholas Alexander Pollock.
Devin Eric Saunders.
J.C. Raquel Smith.
Jessica Lee Tobias.
Killian Miller Valencia.
Joshua William Wilhite.
That's it, sir.
Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, joining President Trump on stage, to your left, Brigadier General Andrew Armacost, Dean of the Faculty. And to your right, Mr. Nathan Pine, Director of Athletics.
Cadet Squadron 11, Brody Nathaniel Bagnall.
Emily Ann Bluo.
Madison Jane Froby.
Logan Paul Frost.
Michael Lawrence Gray.
Christian James Haddon.
Madeline Claire Hoff.
Joseph Vicente Johnson.
Nicholas James Uhas.
Nicholas Allen Kundrat.
Anna Noel Moronic.
Alexander John Mossing.
Olivier Mutabazi.
Dustin Lee Nethercutt.
Matthew Joseph Felici.
Darian LeVar Sanders.
Jacob Matthew Schaefer.
Colton Michael Stowe.
Kendall Amelia Thomas.
Andrew Philip Wiss.
Cadet Squadron 12, Keith Batista.
Brandon Edward Boone. Hagen Kathleen Bottomley.
Luke Raphael Boyle.
Carter Jean Shalupka.
Riley Marie Butler Clark.
Sarah Isabella Cook.
Avery Cha Evans.
Bryant Samuel Falconello.
Noah Galen Gavenis.
Eric Christopher Gear.
Darby Rose Glab.
Matthew Glenn Hargraves.
Mason Ernst Knox.
Paul Michael Lee.
Nick Dowell Lopez.
Shannon Elizabeth Murray.
Thomas John Oshika.
Rudra Panikan Patel.
Brandon Zachary Rockers.
Anthony Francis Vaccaro.
Eric James Yandura.
John Robin DeAndre.
Cadet Squadron 13, Daniel James Boudelier.
Micah James Capra.
Ethan Douglas Chambers.
Mason James Dean.
Michael Patrick Fahey.
Reese Michael Fairchild.
Jacob Reed Gilbert.
Kayla Ann Granger.
Renee Ayaovi Nunya Honifo.
Annalise Shigiko Howard.
Jared Tyler Cruiser.
Griffin Thomas Lorenz.
Luis Armando Martinez Jr.
Nicholas Ty Maxey.
Abigail Rose Mix.
Mariah Bryn Niehaus.
Kahinde Prosper Oceanloya.
Okay. Christian Michael Pung.
Darrell Siobhan Smith.
Dylan Thomas Soder.
Mary Catherine Vidra.
Cadet Squadron 14. Benjamin Amin Byer.
John Christian Blazingame.
Mark Anthony Bazo.
Robert William Darren Bullard.
Spencer Cap.
Reina Cerniglia.
Chase Michael Cohen.
Sarah Noel Escobedo.
Hanson Reed Finley.
Ryan Keith Gill.
Sydney Elizabeth Heitoff.
Alexander Ivan Hess.
Turner Andrew Holcomb.
April Suzanne Hood.
Emily Jean Quo.
Matthew Scott Medla.
Austin Oaks Nelson.
Hudson Henry Pierce.
Jenna Michelle Petty.
Stephen Daniel Plaskett.
Josiah Matthew Prado Savoy.
Bradley Milan Stefanovic.
Donald Thomas Stutz.
Sierra Nicole White.
Cadet Squadron 15. Abdil Jose Casanas Rosario.
Luke Robert Messier Easton.
Caleb O'Neill Elms.
Thomas Schulte Ernst.
Timothy Tanner Gurman Jr.
Jennifer Lynn Hiddink.
Thomas Patrick Keith.
Kathy Lim.
Jen Liz Miley Maldonado.
Mitchell McCulley.
Gregory Jet Nye.
Michaela Brianne Pollock.
Joseph Evan Redfern.
Brianna Rose Robertson.
Dylan Van Phuc Tang.
Leo Weston Tanja.
Spencer Daniel Thompson.
Tyler Reed Vaught.
Brian Jahe Yu.
Cadet Squadron 16, Milo Homer Browder.
David William Cooper.
Lillian Marie Costello.
Melissa Patricia DeSouza.
Cody John Darnold.
Joshua Joachim Fortes.
Dylan Andrew Harry.
Maxwell Richard Hefner.
Jason Asbury Hightower.
Jared Patrick Kester.
Griffin Walter Landrum.
Dylan Joel Magnus.
Hannah Rose McGowan.
Gabrielle Marie Miller.
Jacob Michael Orr.
Cassandra Eleanor Preston.
Jordan Eric Rivera.
Carl Isaac Schlutz.
Tyler Eric Yonkers.
Cadet Squadron 17, Jamie Lagman Abulan.
Jonah Olson Angus.
May Ilani K. Aloha Arakan.
Garrett Ross Colson.
Ryan Shane Collinsworth.
Maxwell James Daniel.
Bailey Celeste DeBerry.
Blake John Gillen.
Lionel Mayuk Gumoretti.
Robert Tanner Heckman.
Natalie Monique Kettner.
Eric Christopher Klein.
Thomas Alexander Knox.
Delfeo Shamar Matthews.
Victoria Marie Perez.
Nicholas Gregory Peravolitis.
Garrett William Potts.
Mylin Fuentes Quinto.
Brittany Christina Reed.
Luke Dallas Sanderson.
Jacob Edward Sacido.
Noah Merritt White.
Parker Stephen Wilson.
Alexander David Edward Yantis.
Cadet Squadron 18, Connor Lee Brown.
Sung Hyuk Choi.
Ryan Joseph Darby.
Michaela De La Cruz DeMappy.
Olivia Catherine Durrance.
John Daniel Dykeman Jr.
Nathaniel Allen Enders.
Robert Keone Gotchkis.
Alexander Stephen Goyrigolthary.
John Paul Joyce.
Anthony Jungyoung Kim.
Haley Michaela Lobb.
David Paul Louthen.
Alan Son Luke.
Ariana Janae Mosley.
Brian Mackenzie Poitras.
Kate Ursula Randall.
Connor Isaiah Rayburn.
James Logan Sims.
Gabrielle Marie Singler.
Matthew Dean Stenger.
Charles Edward Stevens.
Cadet Squadron 19, Kyle Gregory Abraham.
Catherine Ann Anderson.
Matthew Brooks Carter.
Alex Richard Danchi.
William Evans Duvall V.
Caitlin Elizabeth Emerson.
Bailey Robert Flansburgh.
Morgan Alexander Coleman Janast.
Isaac Kenneth Caston.
Seoyun Solomon Ko.
Fitzhugh Dickinson Lee.
Camille Alexandra Leonard.
Brianna Nicole Martinez.
Andrew Johnson McAdams.
Gabriel David Mendez.
Samuel Robert Rexroad.
Samuel Ethan San Marco.
Lauren Hunter Sides.
Thomas Martin Stretch.
Logan Peter Toucher.
Caden Ross Taylor.
Michelle Leona Thompson.
Hunter Austin Zanuski.
Cadet Squadron 20. Lois May Agabon.
John Erickson Allen.
Elizabeth Marie Barnacle.
David Louis Bartholomew IV.
Cole Bennett Biederman.
Alexander Dean Brown.
Justin Riley Click.
Austin James Dewing.
Anne Marie Claire Flatten.
Kyle Walter Floyd.
Tyler Wiley Harristover.
Maxwell James Kemper.
Purvis Cordell Louder.
Allison Paige Lusk.
Giles Richard McGillick.
Isaac Jose Perez.
Aaron Rachel Sagisi.
Matthew Eugene Shear.
James Gerard Schwerner.
Alyssa Paige Staten.
Nathaniel Alexander Thomas.
Trey Daniel Tullifson.
Joshua Raymond West.
Sir, do you need... I'm supposed to say that's not right. Yeah, so I got 20.
Gotta have a hydration plan. Starts the day before.
Great. Let's go, kids. Let's keep it going, Tony, huh?
Cadet Squadron 21. Marcus Wayne Abrams.
Ernest Louis Alvino III.
Jonathan Lang Bartlett.
Sarah Elizabeth Bertles.
Mafalda Rish Brunkal.
Isaiah Wendell Butcher, Jr.
Brianna Catherine Chen.
Liam James Conley.
Charles Christian Davis.
Matthew David Finley.
Erica Hannelore Fulbright.
Stephen Ray Griffin III.
Austin Emmanuel Gula.
Nicole Kana McKean.
Chandler Elizabeth May.
Zane Hall Moxley.
Thomas Cholwan O.
Matthew Thomas Oliver.
Joshua Lawrence Rackham.
Evan Jason Reese.
Jericho Al Christopher Simmons.
Eva Maria Thomason.
Joshua Joseph Wojciechowski.
Cadet Squadron 22. Maurice Glendon Appleton III.
Nicholas Zachary Bakayanzis.
Austin Christopher Box.
Dylan Christopher Brown.
Rafaela Eliza Bakur.
Tyler Myron Bazell.
Mark Dale Coxon.
Sharon Dominguez.
Shelby Lee Feldman.
Rachel Marie Golding.
Kyle James Gordon.
Jenike Lane Hirama.
Jordan Jewel Harold.
Young Yoon Kim.
Justin Tyler Kovich.
Caron Lopez Jr.
Caitlin Hannah Myers.
Joseph Trung Pham.
Gareth Long Sitton.
Albert David Taglieri.
Michaela Karen Tucker.
Sadasi Carl Walden.
Caleb Gavin Williamson.
Joseph Michael Woody.
Cadet Squadron 23. Stephen Anthony Alexander.
Casey Edward Brannon.
David John Culver.
Luke Arthur Decker.
Mark Anthony Demore II.
Braden Joseph Evers.
Logan David Fiesline.
Jonathan Austin Gale.
Casey Marie Guardia.
Reagan Eleanor Haverkate.
Christian Olaf Hedegren.
Daniel D. Highland.
Jean Adolf Krieg.
Daniel Asa Cure.
Gabriel Andres Martinez Quinones.
Troy Thomas Mayer.
Conrad Joseph McCarthy.
Christian Marie Nye.
Clinton Mills Parker.
Kevin Sunraj Puri.
Michael Todd Snell.
John Gilbert Salt III.
Sean Andrew Sutejo.
Miriam Audra Trafford.
Brienne Marie Walker.
Cadet Squadron 24. Timothy Hughes Baker.
Jonathan Michael Banks.
Noah Benjamin Burling.
Curran Brandt.
Christian Mark Brunenkant.
Nicholas Noah Clark.
Michael Devlin Gilmartin.
Nathaniel James Graham.
Holden James Hardcastle.
Lauren Elizabeth Pelt.
Michael Robert Holman.
Kathleen Taylor Kohler.
Yadim Lee.
Thaddeus Frederick Moore.
Justin Hoon Munn.
Ethan Alexander Nichols.
Sydney Caroline Phillips.
Stanley U. Skibo.
Brett Austin Stell.
Isaac Matthew Schwartzman.
Demi Janine Yersizian.
Cadet Squadron 25. Scott Anthony Bennett.
Xavier Ryan Cardinal.
Avery Francis Chapman.
Nicholas Cody Chu.
Donald Cameron Alexander Coffin-Shivan.
Peyton Elizabeth Cooper.
Kevin Edward Cox.
Het Manish Desai.
Kalia Alexis Gorman.
Derek Michael Greenwald.
Jesse Cornelius Haggerty IV.
Brett James Hensel.
Maria Victoria Martinez.
Paul John Matthews.
Seth Nathaniel Allis.
Cole Douglas Pouch.
Taylor Renee Pond.
Grayson Nicholas Reeves.
Andrew Covey Tankersley.
Thomas Lewis Toscano IV.
Tyler Benjamin Ullman.
Daniel James Vanderweide.
Jacob Reed Boland.
Bryce Carl Bonzermulen.
Caitlin Marie Walbridge.
Cadet Squadron 26. Jonathan Thomas Atzinger.
Stephen Timothy Beeline.
Mark Gordon Brown.
Nicholas Martin Chevrant.
Ross Atchison Connors.
Christopher Nathaniel Coase.
Robin Nicole Cully.
Verbon Boncomo Frial.
Dominique Chantel Gordon.
Daniel Hilf.
Christian John Kalushin.
Rebecca Francis Lang.
Jesus Alonso Maese.
Sean Michael McGinty. Diana.
Kelsey Leanne Putkammer.
Wesley
John Allen Robertson.
Preston Allen Roche.
Juan Sebastian Rozo.
Alan Ted Villanueva.
Jacob Austin Wellborn.
Cadet Squadron 27, Tyler James Blue.
Joseph Michael Bruno.
Juan Jose Duque.
Daniel Hyungdong Han.
Jeffrey Allen Hart, Jr.
Natalie Florence Hawthorne.
Thomas Xavier Hiltz.
Austin Taylor Jacobs.
Cindy J. Kim.
Jaleel Amosude Kuku.
James Charles Lynch.
Robert Gerald Molinak.
Monica Ruth Mamma.
Darian Azuka McElhannon.
Hayden Samuel Molitor.
Logan Wayne Morrison.
Chase Marshall Poland.
Dylan Thomas Race.
Audrey Diane Reed.
Alexandra Elisa Ravelas.
Landon Jacob Roddenberry.
Matthew Thomas Saratori.
Thomas James Sherwood, Jr.
Maxwell Lee Wild.
Christopher Yenlun Yang.
Cadet Squadron 28. Adam Joseph Caldy.
David Milton Clement.
Michael John DeFries Jr.
Caitlin Kaylee Enright.
James Henry Ferenzi.
Zachary Amadeus Frontado.
Ryan Michael Gerard.
Samuel Tyler Grayson.
Ford Calvin Hostler.
Jared Knight Junquist.
Eugene George Kim.
Michael Corda.
William George Merchant II.
Brianna Rochelle Murray.
Mackenzie Taylor Rudolph.
Jeremy Matthew Schwartz.
Marissa Solette Sly.
Edward Thomas Smet.
Dustin Lee Still.
Joanna Celeste Trevino.
Cadet Squadron 29. Sarah Catherine Antoluk.
Jeffrey Thomas Austin.
Daniel Thomas Bailey.
Andrew Grant Berman.
Peter Hagen Curtin.
Robert Michael Dow, Jr.
Michael Stephen Grindal.
Logan Thomas Justice.
Alexander Gregory Lassar.
April Nicole Lewis.
John Constantine Magus.
Megan Drew McCormick.
Joel Isaiah Moss.
Dean Everett.
Bruce Sarazin.
Simon Timothy Sneeringer.
Lucas Manuel Teixeira.
Jaime Arturo Tejerina, Jr.
Deanna Rochelle Washington.
Cadet Squadron 30. Yoqueri Andres Adams II.
Spencer Joseph Adolph.
Cassandra Catherine Bell.
Kainoa Chunmoy.
Athena Marie Ecker.
Samantha Ryan Fondacaro.
Parker James Hammond.
Nicholas Ricardo Hillman.
Jake Quinton Hughes.
James Levi Knox II.
Jack Fuller Culp.
Elizabeth Margaret Mahoney.
Trent Lee Mizell.
George Bryce Millard Jr.
Dane Axel Norman.
Thomas Robert Plessé.
Matthew Lloyd Robbins.
Adrian Dominique Sheppy.
Hannah Marie Springer.
Sharon Christine Teicher.
Christopher Todd Titus.
John Michael Toomey.
Jonah Sablat Witt.
Katrina Marie Wood. Sir, if you're ready.
So you ready?
More to go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining President Trump on stage, once again to your left, Lieutenant General Jay Severia, Superintendent, and to your right, Colonel Scott Campbell, Commander, Commandant of Cadets.
Cadet Squadron 31. Malik Jamal Abbott.
Kelly Lee Blunt.
Tucker Joshua Bone.
Elizabeth Alexandra Breckbuell.
Elijah Malik Calloway.
John Charles Dabagian.
Ryan Jacob Doris.
Mark Lawrence Hayes II.
Eric Paul Eisenberg.
Ryan Lee Johnson.
Jared Trace Landry.
Kylie Teresa Moore.
Walker Evan Newell.
Nathaniel Yejun Pak.
Parker John Rosedall.
Addison Walker Smith.
Anthony Jackson Thomas.
Christy Marie Thorstensen.
Domenico Michael Vacanti.
Rebecca Morgan Wagner.
Jacob Steele Yarnell.
Cadet Squadron 32. Michael David Bashton.
Samuel James Brenner.
Michael Roy Bullock.
Devon Bryn Berger.
Ronald Allen Cleveland.
William Ellis Cooper.
Michael R. Cornelius.
Brittany Alexis Flanagan.
Nicholas Ross Fleming.
Martin Edward Gilligan IV.
Jacqueline Brooks Goodwin.
Marie Elise Guerrero.
Rylan Gage Haig.
Isaiah Thomas Honorable.
Michael Edward Kemper.
Andrew James Kinziger Petrosky.
Christopher Michael Lowe.
Robert Joseph Mahoney III.
Bailey Callan Nagel.
Stanley Ryan Ocheski.
Reese Zijing Pontius.
Patrick Ryan Rovney.
Colin Michael Skinner.
Tyler Scott Stout.
Mariah Ann Volk.
Ariane Lamar Worthman.
Cadet Squadron 33, James Kendall Ankenberg.
Jacob Isaiah Belvado.
Philo Torres Casaneda.
Marquise Eugene Cobb.
Kyle Patrick Daly.
Charles Joseph Estep.
Cole Colton Grove.
Elizabeth Alessandra Hartman.
Riley Rose Hill.
Daniel Robert Jones.
Sawan Kong.
Nicholas Ryland McDaniel.
Kevin Santiago Mendez.
Jacqueline Marie Orcutt.
Aaron William Queen.
Dylan Kennedy Smith.
Joshua Taylor Summers.
William Robert Tatum.
Anna Maria Weilbacher.
Trevor James Westendorf.
Rachel Shannon Weinman.
Cadet Squadron 34. Zoe Aubrey Barnett.
Nicholas Andrew Caban.
Taylor Catherine Cobb.
Marte Lamont Coleman.
Dustin Allen DeMonto Delano.
Matthew Devin Hahn.
Sarah Brooke Hellman.
Chadney David Hill.
John Joseph Gordon Howe.
Samantha Lorraine Jackson. Trin Thurgood Lewis.
Matthew William Moshe.
Abraham Nuno.
Gabrielle Nicole Pinson.
Stephanie Marie Polivka.
Nicholas Reddy.
Rachel Elizabeth Russell.
Joshua Siminiano Santini.
Jacob Matthew Stanley.
Joshua Raymond Stillwell.
Dalen Sutton.
Michael Scott Trinner.
Cadet Squadron 35. Nicholas George Anapol.
Cameron Vance Carter.
Cameron Alexander Castleberry.
Dylan Ananias Clark.
Julia Dominique Corton.
Veronica Simone Dodds.
Matthew Edward Dunlap.
Jack Connor Flynn.
Brett Austin Herring.
Soren Justice Hoffman.
Turner Wayne Howe.
Andrew Paul Huxhold.
Marissa Lynn Jacobs Hoffman.
Nicholas Mark Marin.
Marissa Lee McCullough.
Michelle Catherine McGee.
Johnny B. Murphy III.
Eric John Rosillian.
Benoy Awel Tarai.
Samuel Joseph Valeroy.
Robert Nicholas Waterman.
Cadet Squadron 36. Thomas Francis Bruns.
Chad Edward Shreen II.
Christopher Juan Copcano.
Maeve Amelia Daw.
Anthony Paul DeAngelis.
Brett Tyler Decker.
Christian David Frost.
Andrew Roger Gurman.
Johnny Griffith.
Sean Noel Thrasher Grinnell.
Matthew Lloyd Hopkins.
Brandon Michael Jones.
Catherine Marie Campson.
Luke James McFadden.
James Brandon McMahon.
Sean Farrell McNally.
Mariana Orantia Murphy.
Adam Wesley Payne.
Paige McKenzie Qantas.
Roman Johann Rohrbach.
Corbin David Ruff.
Arlene Francis Ville.
Justin Luke Waligora.
Cadet Squadron 37. Jacob Potter Barkley.
Gabriel Alexander Cavender.
Tig Matthew Collins.
Austin Taylor Cutting.
Laura Lee Drapinski.
Chad Michael Elton.
Austin Tyler Esquivel.
Joshua Paul Giorgio.
Jarrett Coyle Joyner.
Gordon Francis Hardy Koakowski.
Molly Elizabeth Lotch.
Dayanara Ashanti Manyfield.
Gavin Alexander McCord.
Stephen Andrew Moyer.
Spencer James Pongras.
Kanchan Yvonne Potter.
Taylor Renee Price.
Samantha Lynn Reed.
Luke James Robinson.
Jose Ramon Silva Jr.
George Edward Stradaker.
Braxton Randy Stocking.
Branson David Taheri.
Kyle Douglas Woodward.
Daniel Han Uke.
Zachary Ryan Zeltman.
Cadet Squadron 38. Carter Matthew Cook.
Stephen Henry Deneen.
Joseph William Clock.
Koa Alexander Knitter.
Joseph Christopher LaPadada Jr.
Mara Zoe Leary.
Alexander Alexrovich Lopachansky.
Alexander Eric McLaughlin.
Quinche Sierra Perkins.
Isaac Arthur Reister.
Eliana Ryan.
Esther Yukyung Song.
Cameron William Sullivan.
Vito Antonio Hernandez Valenzuela.
Brandon Peter Webster.
Nicholas Lloyd Williams.
Krista Alexandra Young.
Cadet Squadron 39. Dylan Gomes Almeida.
Claire Elizabeth Badger.
Charles Michael Barton.
William Oliver Butterbush III.
Ralph Andrew Carios.
Leslie Page Follert.
Grant Patrick Fox.
Joshua Christopher Gehrink.
Cody Garrett Gessler.
Michael DeJong Grieg.
Austin Guadalupe Guerrero.
Demetrios Mihail Kostakis.
Victor K. Lee.
Bailey Elizabeth Little.
Justin Hunter Maxwell.
Ileana Koshiko K. Alani Nakamoto.
Gregory Michael Quessenberry.
Liam Ryan Sachs.
Samantha Rose Schiffman. David
Grace Ann Skidmore.
David Joseph Warfel.
Cadet Squadron 40. Katani Elise Alvish.
Samuel Lewis Berry.
Emily Caroline Benston.
Jason Thomas Byers.
E. French.
Corey Jonathan Evan Gutierrez.
Valentin Ahosa Longoria.
Frank Charles Hippler.
David Paul Jones.
Lauren Marina Main.
Malik Ali Miller.
Miguel Antonio Silva Mulas.
Tyler Curtis Mortensen.
Justin Scott Peterson.
Patrick Ray Reed.
Corey Jacob Scully.
Journey Carly Self.
Aaron Marie Swain.
Carter Michael Thorne.
Jonah Michael Erlop.
Thomas Perry Whittington.
Jeffrey Allen Wilson.
Art. Thank you. Thanks, Art.
See it.
Wing, Tench Hut. Mr. President, thank you for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, the President will be departing immediately following the Air Force song and dismissal of the class of 2019. Please rise as Colonel Scott Campbell, Commander, Commandant of Cadets, administers the oath of office.
Graduates of the Neil Armstrong class, will you please raise your right hand, and after I read the oath of office, signify your acceptance by saying, "I do." Do each of you, having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force, do solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which you are about to enter, so help you God. Ladies and gentlemen, the Air Force song. Class of 2019, dismiss!